A question I get asked a lot, and I want to make this video not just for buyers looking to enter the market, but realtors or soon to be realtors looking to gain and organize this knowledge. In this video, we'll cover the 4 factors of buying your first home here in Ontario, Canada. First, minimum down payment required. Second, qualifying for a mortgage, essentially how much annual income you need to earn and what you can qualify for. Third, closing costs. And on closing costs, we'll touch on a couple things in this video, like how working with a realtor here in Ontario, Canada can be absolutely free to you, as well as we'll touch on if you qualify for first-time homebuyer incentives and rebates. And last, fourth on the list, time frames, roughly from start to finish on the entire process. How fast you can go from working with a mortgage agent, working with a realtor, to being in your first home. Just quickly though, if you find these videos helpful, consider liking and subscribing. It means an absolute ton to me, and myself and my partner are realtors here in the Waterloo region area. Reach out with any of your real estate needs at all. Reach out even if you don't have representation and you're looking for a house anywhere in Ontario. I can help you with the connections I've made here on this channel. But let's just dive right into the video. First, minimum down payment requirements. It's a bit of a tiered system here in Ontario, but you'll need to put down 5% on a $500,000 property or less, 10% on the amount between $500,000 and $999,000, and 20% minimum on any purchase over $1 million. For example, if it was a $500,000 home, you would need to put $25,000 down, that's 5%, if you qualify, of course, for a mortgage, and we'll get into that on step 2. If it was an $800,000 home, so above the $500K mark but below the $1 million mark, you would still need to put down the $25,000 for the first $500K, and now it's 10% on the amount above, in this case the additional $300,000 over, which is $30,000, so $25,000 plus $30,000, your minimum down payment on an $800,000 home would be $55,000. Once you hit the $1 million plus mark, like mentioned, it automatically goes to 20% down payment required. For example, $200,000 on a $1 million home. Getting to a 20% down payment is not only nice because you might actually qualify for more of a mortgage, but you also won't have to pay mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance, or CMHC insurance, is required on a purchase of a property with less than a 20% down payment. This insurance doesn't protect you. This insurance protects the lender in the event that you default on your mortgage, essentially stop payment. I'll quickly do a calculation using an online mortgage insurance calculator. As you can see, if I put in an asking price of $500,000, it gives you a range of possible mortgage insurance required based on the amount down. The more you put down, the less the insurance will be, all the way to putting down 20% at zero insurance required. I will say one thing though, in my opinion, if you have saved up that $25,000 in this example, I strongly suggest entering the market instead of paying high rental fees as you try to save up to get to that 20%. That's a big difference in this example, say getting up to that $100,000 down payment if you don't have it, and paying the insurance that is built into the back end of your mortgage. Again, in my opinion, it's best to enter the market instead of spinning your wheels with high rental fees and monthly costs. I'll quick put in $1 million home as well, and as you can see, it automatically reverts to the 20% down payment required here in Ontario and no insurance. Second on the list, qualifying for a mortgage and how much money you need to make to qualify for what. Note that this will just be a good rough idea. Try to consider this to be a bit of a gauge for yourself, or if you are a realtor working with clients, trying to find out roughly what they can qualify for. A few factors to take into consideration, and some I won't be able to touch on too deeply, but you'll definitely have these conversations with your mortgage broker, is your credit report, your debt, your assets, the type of job or income, and the period of time at your current profession would be a good short list. All will be taken into consideration to assess how much risk the borrower or borrowers will carry. But a good rough start again would be to take your annual taxable income and times it by 4.5. This will give you an approximate loan amount. For example, if you and your spouse make, say, $110,000 taxable income annually, if we multiply that by 4.5, we have $495,000. So upon possible loan or mortgage amount of $495,000, and this is plus your down payment to get your potential purchase price. If you have a down payment of 20% or above, the gauge we actually like to use would be more like 5.5 your annual taxable income. So use that as a rough gauge. Your annual taxable income, your down payment, your debt, your assets, take it all into consideration, and you'll talk about this while meeting your mortgage broker. On to third on the list, closing costs. A good short list again would be legal fees, essentially real estate lawyers, movers, setting up utilities, if you needed a home inspection on the property, and the biggest of the bunch, land transfer tax. Like mentioned at the start, if you are a first-time home buyer, make sure you bookmark and watch this video after this video that I go into really good detail about first-time home buyer incentives and rebates that you might qualify for. So be sure to watch that after, but top of the list, which is 100% required here in Ontario, is legal fees. You must have a real estate lawyer close the sale for you, which is doing a title search on the property to make sure there are no liens or encumbrances, as well as handle the money exchange and the official transfer of title. This price can range. Make sure you call and interview at least 3, but you're looking at anywhere from about $2,000 to about $3,500. Other costs like movers, setting up utilities, property inspections can vary or be quite nominal depending on your situation, but the biggest of the bunch is land transfer tax. Land transfer tax is a tiered tax rate again, but let's say you are purchasing a $750,000 home in Ontario, you will be looking at just over $11,000 of provincial land transfer tax. If you are in Toronto, however, they do have their own municipal land transfer tax. As you can see, if I change the area to Toronto, it doubles. Again, look to that video in the cards where I go much deeper into land transfer tax, but Toronto having 2 land transfer tax, the municipal and the provincial, it does sting a bit, but I personally love Toronto. I would never live there. My fiance grew up on a farm. She finds it too busy, but I find it inspiring and fun, and if I had to pay this additional land transfer tax, I would consider it a fun or a luxury tax to live in one of the greatest cities in the world. Okay, so one thing you won't see here, as you've probably noticed, is a realtor fee. As a buyer, you do not pay the real estate agent 99.9% of the time. The seller pays us for bringing a buyer to the property. Sometimes there is that misconception, but we can just go searching for properties that best suits your needs at no cost to you, as the seller pays our commission. Like mentioned, myself and my partner are realtors in Waterloo region, but if you were looking anywhere in Ontario, my connections go as far as Ottawa, so reach out. All of my information is in the description below. Okay, fourth and last on the list is approximate time it takes from start to finish. We'll give you a good rough gauge here so you can anticipate how long it possibly takes as you're entering the market. First would be meeting with your mortgage broker. We'll call that 2 days. Meeting with your realtor, say another 2 days. Searching for properties, let's say 7 to 10 days. And the main one is closing time. Closing on a property can range from 30 to 90 days. And during this time, you will find a real estate lawyer, plan your moving company or friends and family to help, set up your address change, set up your utilities, and start planning your housewarming party. So in roughly 3 months or under, you could be in your brand new home, building equity and enjoying life. I really hope this video gave you a good idea of buying your first home here in Ontario, Canada. My name is Callum Moore, eXp Realty real estate agent here in Ontario. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.